The NBA draft is approaching soon with a lot of hype garnering some of the top players. This year's draft contains potential superstars such as Zion Williamson, Ja Morant, and others as well. But as always, we should expect to see some draft night trades, and I think we may be in for some big moves this year. So let's go over 5 huge trades that could occur on the 2019 NBA draft. And before we get into it, as I said in my other videos, I have been facing some copyright issues as of late, and it would be really appreciated if you guys can subscribe to my backup channel. I have this channel in case anything happens to this one, and I'll leave a link to that down in the description below. Please subscribe to that channel and of course my main channel, THETBALL, as it will go a long way in helping me to continue to put out some interesting NBA content out for you guys. So, let's get back into the video. So first up, I have Anthony Davis to the Oklahoma City Thunder. The deal would be Westbrook and the number 21 overall pick for Davis and E'Twaun Moore. This would be a trade that confuses everybody, but it could work out for both teams. The Thunder would do this deal to make a huge change to their roster, as they just can't seem to go far in the playoffs with Westbrook as one of their top 2 options. This deal will move him in exchange for a superstar in Anthony Davis, who has only 1 year left on his deal. As we all know, Davis could easily bolt the following offseason and sign with any team he wants, but the Thunder would have to bank on convincing him to stay like Paul George did after OKC traded for him. A duo of Davis and George would be devastating, as both guys are some of the top two-way players in the league. It will be very hard for any team to stop both of them at the same time, as if they focus their defense heavily on one, the other will make them pay. We saw Paul George put up an MVP caliber season as one of the top scorers and defenders in the league, and having Davis next to him as a secondary scorer and pick and roll partner would be incredible. The Thunder could also stagger their minutes and have one of them play with the bench unit as well, so there would be a top scorer on the floor at all times. On defense, having Paul George out at the perimeter along with Andre Robertson would suffocate the opposing team's guards and wings, while Davis and Adams would provide excellent interior defense. It would be tough to score on the Thunder, and they would likely have a top offense as well, and if OKC is just somehow able to pull this off, it would be amazing. It would definitely hurt to get rid of Westbrook, who is the face of the Thunder, but something needs to change or there'll be either a first or second round exit for many years to come. And if OKC is able to make it to the finals, there is a good chance they'll be able to convince Davis to stay, and he would help make the Thunder a championship contender for many years to come. So next up, I have Russell Westbrook to the Phoenix Suns. The deal will be Tyler Johnson, TJ Warren, McCall Bridges, and the Suns' number 6 overall pick in exchange for Westbrook. So to transition from the first trade, the Pelicans would have no need for Westbrook as they are a rebuilding team. The Pelicans would then trade Westbrook to the Suns, who needed a starting point guard and are looking to finally win now. A starting backcourt of Westbrook and Booker would provide the Suns with one of the most dynamic guard combos in the NBA. Westbrook will be a great distributor for Booker and should help set him up for open shots, and he should also be able to find Ayton in the right spots for easy buckets. Ayton had a very good rookie season, even though the Suns were without a competent point guard, and having Westbrook passing to him should make him possibly a 20 point per game scorer. The Pelicans in return for Westbrook will be getting some nice assets for their rebuild, as they would be getting the number 6 overall pick and some nice complementary pieces they could later flip to a contender for more assets later on as well. If the Pelicans are able to select Garland with the number 6 overall pick, they would be able to get Zion Williamson and Garland in the same draft, which would give them possibly 2 cornerstone players. Those 2 players along with other assets would help expedite the Pelicans' rebuild, and they would have a very bright future. Next up, I have the Lakers trading the number 4 overall pick to the Hawks for the number 8 pick and number 10 pick. The Lakers will make this trade if the Pelicans are finally willing to trade Davis to them, and if the Pelicans would rather have the number 8 and number 10 pick over the number 4 overall pick. Having 2 chances at a star may be what the Pelicans want to put next to Zion Williamson, and they could possibly select guys like Cam Reddish and Bol Bol. However, I could see the Lakers possibly doing it for themselves, as if they are able to sign a max player, they're going to be strapped for cash to sign cheap role players. While rookies probably aren't the best option to contribute very effectively right away, the Lakers can sign an NBA ready prospect along with a player who has high potential but needs some work. That should help fill out the roster with quality young players who have room to grow, and it wouldn't be a bad idea in my opinion. But the main reason why I see this trade occurring is because the Pelicans would want multiple top 10 picks in the draft over the number 4 overall pick in an Anthony Davis trade. We'll see what happens, but be sure to pay attention to the Lakers to see if they make any moves during the draft. Next up, I have Chris Paul to the Dallas Mavericks. The deal would be Chris Paul to the Mavericks for Tim Hardaway Jr., Courtney Lee, Justin Jackson, and a future first round pick. The Rockets have made everyone on their team available, and it has been known that they are really looking to get rid of Paul and his contract. The Mavericks could definitely use a starting point guard, and they could get one of the top, though injury-prone point guards in the NBA in this trade. It would hurt to swallow the remainder of Paul's large contract, but that means they won't have to give up much to obtain him. The Mavericks will just have to give up some filler contracts and a protected first round pick to get Paul, and having a big three of Paul, Doncic, and Porzingis should make them contenders in the NBA next season. Paul would help orchestrate the offense and help take some of the offensive load off of Doncic, who had to run the point a lot last season, and this should help keep Doncic fresh for the playoffs. Also, the Mavs could stagger Doncic's minutes with Paul to keep a top playmaker on the floor at all times, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Mavs have a top 5 offense next season if they add Paul. In addition, if Paul gets injured, the Mavs will still have Jalen Brunson to replace him, and he could also do some spot starts on days when Paul needs some rest. On the other hand, the Rockets would do this trade to get rid of Paul's contract, as when Paul continues to age, he'll definitely be a horrible contract that no one would want to take on at all. At least right now, they would be getting rid of him for basically nothing and get some small assets as well, but the main point is having Paul off the books, and that should clear up cap space for next offseason, where they should have room to sign some high-level players. It would hurt the Rockets in the short term, but they have to see the bigger picture and see that they just cannot win with their current roster. They have to make the most of Harden's prime, and they should be able to make some big additions next offseason with Chris Paul and his horrible contract gone in this trade. And for the final trade, I have Mike Conley to the Wolves. So the trade will be Conley to the Timberwolves for Wiggins, Saric, and the number 11 overall pick. The Wolves will do this trade in a win-now move, as they will get a top 10 point guard in the NBA when healthy to conduct their offense. Conley could create his own shot and is a very good playmaker, and he should help set up Towns and others for easy shots. Also, his perimeter defense will be a great addition for the team, and along with Covington, those two should be able to shut down many opposing guards and wings. The Wolves would also be able to get rid of Wiggins' horrible contract in this deal, and that in itself is a huge win in this trade, even if Conley wasn't being included. Adding Conley will make the Wolves playoff contenders right away, and they would have a very solid team. On the other hand, the Grizzlies would do this deal to get more assets for their rebuild, and they would be getting some nice pieces. The number 11 overall pick could help them get a great piece for the future next to likely Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr., and Sarge would also be a nice stretch 4 who could play next to Jaren Jackson Jr. at times as well. The Grizzlies would have to take on Wiggins' enormous contract, but maybe a change of scenery could do wonders for Andrew and help him bounce back from a few rough years. If not, at least he would be a stopgap option at small forward, and he should at least provide some scoring, though likely inefficient, to the team. But the main piece in this trade for the Grizzlies will be that number 11 overall pick, and I could see them picking a future starting center for their team. That could be a guy like Bobo, Jackson Hayes, or someone else, but that number 11 overall pick could end up being a huge piece for the Grizzlies' future. So while it does hurt to lose Conley, who has been the face of the Grizzlies franchise along with Marc Gasol, they actually have a very bright future ahead of them. I think this will be a good deal for both sides, and I would love to see this trade happen in a few weeks. So that's a wrap. Thank you all for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video and want to see more daily NBA content just like this, be sure to drop a like and subscribe, and also be sure to turn on post notifications so you can stay updated on my newest video will be coming out. Also, follow me on Instagram and hit me up if you want to talk about basketball, business, or have any video ideas for me to do. Let me know, as I do try to get back to all you guys there. Drop a comment down below on which trade you thought was the best, or do you have any other trades in your mind? Let me know down in the comments below, as I do read all comments. I'm definitely interested to see what you guys have to say. So with all that being said, once again, thank you all for watching, and hopefully I will see you guys soon for the next video. Peace.